Everyone talks about how they used AI to solve X problem or to build something new, but people rarely discuss how they actually got a result within their businesses by implementing AI. So today I want to briefly show you how we are using AI at Jams and how you can too, no matter the industry you're in. So if you're running a business, especially if you are a non-technical founder, you might want to stick around for a minute or two. So this is any business, right? There's something you do, a set of activities you do at your team, and on the other end, there's a customer expecting for your solution, product, service, whatever it is that you can deliver. And obviously, what unites 2 points is the delivery process you have to execute after the transaction, so your customer gets whatever you do. This is pretty much any kind of company, no matter the customer, no matter the industry, right? And I like to think that there are a lot of existing inputs within any kind of business. There are already a lot of existing elements that you and your team do, and probably some of those elements eventually are used to create other things that are also inputs that eventually become something along the way for the delivery process you give to your customer, right? And probably there are a lot of existing inputs that, through the use of AI, could become an output that already replaces something you do, right? So let's look at a few examples here. So your company, no matter what you do at your business, probably has something around this, whatever, one or two or all of them. So team allocation management, HR processes, ideas, meetings, documents, project briefs, content topics, budgets, quotes, P&Ls, features, ideation sessions you do with your team, probably some kind of metrics or goals or OKRs, KPIs, company manuals, you name it, the list goes on and on. These are just very simple examples, right? So it's interesting to start looking at these things, whether they are 100% operational from inside the business, or actually they have to do 100% with the delivery. There are probably a lot of things you can start looking into that might change how you produce them based on the inputs you have at disposal. So let me use an example, which is a product design agency, which is my company. But this, again, can be applied to any kind of business, right? So we do as key activities, websites, apps, logo development, product design, strategy. And we deliver this for non-tech founders in B2B SaaS, gaming, and education, among other industries, right? And we have a lot of tasks that we do usually. So we do a lot of meetings with clients and internal. We write and design a lot of product scopes. We do user journeys, we do wireframes, we do UI design, we do low code and no code development, right? And when we started using AI, we realized that actually the main two must-have inputs we had to start doing were meetings and briefs or pitches, written briefs or pitches. But the thing is that meetings and briefs, they stopped being just random conversations or really badly written documents or hundreds of Slack messages, and they started becoming one-pagers or really well-articulated documents as inputs, or facilitated ideation meetings that we go through with each customer or team or internal team, right? And this eventually created this process that recorded meetings, when they are facilitated right, they become, thanks to different AI tools out there, user stories, product docs, website or app copywriting, benchmark or research documents, even client testimonials, or just really strong, important feedback you might want to use to then take actionable points, to-do lists. And the cool thing is that, and this goes back to the previous example that I was mentioning on inputs and outputs or existing inputs, we started creating this existing inputs thanks to AI after really well facilitated meetings or really well written pitches. We started, creating user stories and product docs and whatnot. And then we started reusing this created by AI to then create also different things we were doing manually back then as existing inputs. So wireframes, product roadmaps, visual assets, proof of concepts and prototypes. To give you an idea, before we would design a bunch of screens without really high fidelity design, but we would do a bunch of sketches and wireframes and just non-functional prototypes in Figma to showcase customers visual ideas. Now, instead of doing that, we use tools like V0, where we can pretty much build out a proof of concept of a landing page or a dashboard or any kind of product feature instead of just going into design mode or even worse, development mode. And customers love this because of how fast we can do it. It takes a few days instead of a few weeks, right? So to give you another example, this is also something we're doing since we're a product company and we can build software easily. I have also non-delivery related inputs that we totally transformed thanks to AI. So our P&L, it used to be a huge Google sheet that I would update manually every single day. I transformed that into an AI-made app thanks to, again, tools like V0 and Supabase, right? The team time allocation per project, which is something that gets really messy in a service company like ours, especially when it's an agency because people are jumping around from project to project. Again, it went from a crazy Gantt-based Google Sheet all the way to an AI-made app that now makes our lives easier to know exactly how people are using their time and their priorities within the company and within the customers, right? So I think the overall element that we have to look into here is every single business has key activities that they're doing right now, and they're executing a delivery process to reach their customer, whatever it is. And they already have a lot of existing inputs. There are a lot of elements within your company that are already being created either by your customers, by you, or by a third party. And you can reuse all of that information with AI to create certain outputs that could then, again, feed the chain and create new inputs and new outputs and whatnot. So this is a very basic explanation on how any single business can start doing something right now to make things faster, cheaper, and even better at some points. So share your thoughts on this topic, which I think is incredible. And thanks for watching.